Hello and welcome. It's Kathy with Waste.Not.Upcycled. I'm a full-time teacher and a part-time reseller and upcycler. In today's DIY video, it's rust meets romance. I'm taking rusty toolboxes and marrying them with my crafty supplies. For project number 1, I'm using a portable rusty toolbox. I'm going to go ahead and wipe it down and then go back and dry it with a towel to start off because there's a lot of rust and dust on it. Season, I'm absolutely obsessed with buttermilk cream from Fusion, so I'm going to be painting this toolbox this color. To begin, I'm going to outline the handlebar. I am going to be doing that a different color, and I just want to make it easy to go around the hardware. Now, Fusion paint's probably one of my favorites to work with just because it could be applied to anything, most surfaces without prep work. There's no need to add top coat, although you're going to see that I do for this, but I love the fact that it has a built-in top coat and it has just a great coverage, can be brought outside and it's so easy to work with. I do not sell it, so if you're interested in it, I would definitely look out for creators online that sell it or any antique or creative booth area near you. A little bit more on the pricey side for me, but I'm also very cheap or frugal, and I'll talk about how I get my paints a little bit later, but I do like to spoil myself and go out and purchase it once in a while. Originally, I brushed around all of the hardware, but later decided I didn't care for how that popped out, and I actually paint over all of those little kind of the corner nooks. So I end up painting this whole box, and because I have multiple projects going on, I set it on the side and I let it dry. I did decide to paint the handle because, as you saw, someone's name was stamped on it. So I decided not to do anything else at this point to the green on the inside of the toolbox. I am going to see how that works with the transfers that I'm using, and I like the rustiness of it, so I'm not even going to touch it. So I actually fell in love with these floral transfers on Amazon. I've never used them before, so this is my first time using them. And I originally purchased these for furniture that I was going to do, use something else, but I put these on the side and I thought that these would look really beautiful on the toolbox. So right now I'm just going to cut out all the pieces so I can kind of figure out what I'm going to do with them. And at this point, I'm really hoping that they stick well and everything works out with them. I'm working with all kinds of bends and things to work around, but you're gonna see on this video how easy it is to do transfers on any surface, really. So I'm just kind of figuring out, it already has a nice little cutout just for this right side, and I'm gonna put the big ones on the left side as well. So with transfers, you're gonna lay it where you want it, pull off that backing, and it's like a giant sticker, basically. You're gonna stick it down. Now, I want my paint, so I am not careful when I lay this down, and I want my paint to possibly be removed. I want it to look distressed in areas. I'm gonna go back and purposefully distress it, so I'm okay with that. And you'll notice any area that is kind of going to be on a surface, I'm just going to go ahead, go around it and cut it out. Corners can be a little bit tricky, so what I'm going to actually do is kind of cut a piece, lay a section of it down, and then if I was to lay the second section down, so there goes the first, and then if I was just to cut it and lay that second section down, it's gonna overlap. So I'm actually gonna cut a little bit of floral out of this now to lay down flat. I'm just using my flat Cricut scraper, and I'm gonna go over and give myself a starting point. And what you do is slowly peel up. As you're peeling up, if you see that it's the actual transfer is sticking to like the sticker portion, it's easy. Lay it right back down and scrape it. Really happy with how this transfer is turning out, and I would definitely purchase from this company on Amazon again. I'm actually going to go in and look because I know that they had some other different styles, and I'm going to check them out. This one was probably around maybe $16 for the full roll. I'm also going to put the link down below, so definitely click if you want to check out. And a very, very, very tiny portion comes back to me at no cost to you in my Amazon affiliate link. You'll notice I'm going to go ahead and kind of cut this a little bit of the excess off because it's starting to stick to me. And here's that back corner. So now that this beautiful transfer is on, you're going to see me do what's called burnishing. And basically you go back over it. Some people use the backing of that actual like sticker part of it, but you basically want to make sure that it is solid. For the second floral piece, I just need to do a little bit of cutting out. I noticed there's a flower sticking over the side that wasn't even connected. So I'm going to cut that out and kind of cut pieces to make sure that it fits on. I'm using the same exact method as the way I did it the first time. One thing that happened is as I was kind of trying to peel off the transfer, the bottom right flower, a very tiny one, was trapped. So I noticed it must have like a sticker was on the bottom of it. So no matter what I did, it was not going to go there. I ended up cutting it out and it worked out. So here's the final result of that second one. After I applied all the transfers, even onto the handle, I'm gonna go ahead and start distressing. So basically when I distress, I just look kind of over the whole piece and find those really like plain areas that need a little bit of distress and sand them. As simple as that. It's kind of a natural process, right? I really look for those corners, and I'm gonna go ahead throughout the whole box and sand it down. After using this sandpaper, I decided to go ahead and switch over to a lower number. So you're gonna find when you use sandpaper that those numbers are used to determine the like coarseness of the actual sandpaper. So the higher the number is, the finer that grit is. So the lower the number is, the more it's going to sand off. So if you want a very light sanding, you're gonna have a higher number. After I'm done sanding and wiping everything down, it's time to go on and paint. I'm gonna use Fusion Carriage House, and I'm gonna lay a towel down because I definitely want to make sure I don't get this on the toolbox. But what I loved about this handle is, see how it's like this chippy color already? I'm basically gonna use that paint that's laid down as a template. I want it to look distressed, but instead of being that color that's down there, I want the green. So you're gonna just watch me go over that exact, almost exact, where the paint already was, and just, it's gonna have that natural look just because I'm following what was already there. I'm absolutely loving how this green color is looking. It is so pretty. I'm also daydreaming about like garage sale season right now. At this point in the Midwest, it's still pretty chilly, and we will not have garage sales for probably a month or two, probably more, a couple months. But I'm telling you, I hope that when you are at garage sales, you are inspired to grab those rusty toolboxes and carriers, because they can definitely be upcycled into some pretty neat things. It's all dry, so it's time to use my favorite Top Coat DIY Big Top. And I'm gonna use a foam brush to seal it, because then I don't get any of those like paintbrush hairs. And I'm gonna go ahead over the whole project so that everything kind of has that cohesive look. Be sure to stay till the end to see all of these projects pulled together. Okay, it's time for project number 2, and this is a huge toolbox. Remember how I shared that I was cheap or frugal, whatever, earlier? It's true. Even when it comes to paint, what I tend to do is, one of the ways I get my paint cheaper is at like Home Depot or another paint store, their oops section, where they either mixed it wrong or someone didn't want it, and it is completely discounted. So that's one way I like to get my paint. Another way, go on to Facebook Marketplace, type in free paint. I have gotten the paint that I'm using right now. I drove like 15 minutes and got 4 or 5 nice size paints that were full, new, and great. And I've used them on so many projects. So let's go ahead and talk about this project I'm working on right now. For project 2, I mixed blue and yellow, and I'm using a lot of different ways to kind of blend these colors together. I mixed that blue free paint I got along with that buttercream fusion paint I'm completely addicted to. And I've done everything from paint it on. I've used a wipe to kind of spread it out. I've sprayed it with a mister. I'm truly like, I'm trying everything I can to get the look I am going for. And basically the look I'm going for is, I wanted this to have kind of like a see-through look, different shades and different colors, so kind of blended. And there's no rules to how this is being done. It's kind of like when I cook and I just add different spices, I paint the same way, so no one project turns out the same. So part of creating, I would say there's no rules. Try anything you can to get the look you want. Don't be afraid to experiment. And that's what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go ahead and do everything I can until I kind of get that look I'm going for. So as I'm doing this project, I'm thinking about all the different things that different size toolboxes can be used for. I mean, aside from carrying your tools, you can use it for craft supplies, sewing supplies, as a storage organizer, like anything you want to put in it. I think this would make a great memory box, like photos and letters and all those fun keepsakes. I definitely am a huge plant person, and they can be used for decor, for plants, for tables, shelves. The possibilities are truly endless. So when I'm finished painting this and kind of creating that first layer, I'm going to go ahead onto the inside. This is cute, and I have another one that's kind of like that floral. I end up going with the floral just because I'm sticking with the floral look and the romantic look at this point for my project. Both of them were found at resale stores for probably maybe 50 cents to $1. Okay, you're going to see me measuring, and I measure to the T on this, but I truly am not good at that part when it comes to crafting. I could never build a bridge. It would not be a good situation. Anyway, I'm going to measure, cut out, and not exactly to a T, but I'm going to go ahead and peel off. This is just contact paper, and put it on both the inside and the top of the inside of the lid. So I lay the contact paper, I finish the second part in the bottom, and then I'm also going to finish the top, and I'm on to the next part. So on top of that blue layer, I'm going to put a second layer. I'm using permanent ink, and I use this for all kinds of different projects. And then this stamp pad is something I literally got at a garage sale for like 50 cents to $1. I use it on so many projects, and it's romantic lettering basically. So I am going to layer this on every single part. DIY paint is a paint that I also love to spoil myself with. It is a clay-based paint, and it has 9 ingredients. It's non-toxic. And one of the things that you need to be careful with when you use this specific paint is that it can reactivate itself if you add water or something with it. So you need to seal it. You can use it with transfers, but you do need to let this paint dry for at least 24 hours. Now, for this particular project, I am not going to be adding transfers. I will be sealing it when I'm finished, but I'm truly just gonna paint the inside and paint the outside and leave it very simple. I'm adding the pink once that green is dry, and I just absolutely love how these two colors work together. Thanks for taking the time to watch me upcycle these old rusty toolboxes. I'd love for you to leave a comment down below and let me know which one's your favorite. If you're a current subscriber, thanks for following along. If not, definitely hit that subscribe button to follow along on my DIY and resale journey.